entitled to life. Why? Because you're American? That goes for the military too. That goes for the police too. Oh, you think you're supposed to just live because you're American? You see how arrogant you have become? You're supposed to just live. No matter what we do, no matter how we do it, we're supposed to just live. Well, unfortunately, you have no bulletproof vest. Not even that flag is not a bulletproof vest for karma. When you do things the wrong way, God is not a respecter of persons. It rains on everybody. And if you think you're not going to be rained on when kids are out here being killed, and the government is passing laws to allow adults to marry children, and you have all these other issues going on, if you don't think you're going to be rained on, you are, I don't know, what's the word? Delusional. That's the proper term. You're actually delusional. You have no bulletproof vest for karma, right? It's one thing to work hard and have good karma. Countrymen working hard, got good karma. That's one thing. You should have confidence and expect to live in that situation. But if you out here doing any and everything and you think you just gonna live, unfortunately, not even an American can survive bad karma. Look at it, look around. Everybody say they're American strong, New York strong, everything in between. You dying. And it's because now your lack of morality has finally caught up with you. See, America died. You know what's going to be the story of America? America died because of a lack of morality. America died because of a lack of integrity. America died because of a lack of character. See, it's many ways to kill a country. There's many ways to skin a cat. There's a million ways to die. And you've chosen to die by a lack of morality. That's how you died. Look around. Everybody killing each other. That's a lack of morality. That's a lack of morality. Racism everywhere. Black on black crime too. Why you want to talk about racism all the time? Let's talk about black on black crime as well. That's a lack of morality. Black on black crime is just as bad as racism. Okay, you stealing from black people and you black. You know they ain't got nothing. You robbing people that got less than $5,000 in the bank. You're robbing a poor person, okay? If they have less than $5,000 in the bank, you have just robbed a poor person according to America, according to finances of America and the prices of things in America. You just robbed a poor person. $5,000. That could be a hospital bill if something happened to them, and they're broke. Just like that. Black on black crime is hate. That's what you need to hear. Black on black crime is hate. Yeah, I know. Everybody want to act like it's just butt naked crimes. Nah, no. Black on black crime is also hate as well. Hate that has gone undetected too long. People shooting each other, I'm pretty sure they hate each other. Hey, you can't shoot somebody you love. I don't care what you talk about, the game, the way people doing it, this regular stuff that ain't even got no drugs involved. It ain't even got no dope deal involved. That is also hate. Why you talking about racism? Black on black crime, a lot of times more times than not, is hate for Africans. Africans having hate for other Africans. I know, but you worried about just one part of it. That's why I question people who say, well, Black Lives Matter. Okay, then why you ain't talking to these people killing each other? That's my $1 million question. Why are you not talking to people that are actually killing Black lives more than police? You know who's killing people, Black people, more than police? Other Black people. Who's killing Black people the most? Why you got your Black Lives Matter sweatsuit on? You got a sweatsuit on there at this point. You got the whole Black Lives Matter sweatsuit. Some of you do. You got the whole sweatsuit. Why you wearing your sweatsuit before it get too hot? Why you ain't talking to these people that's out here prone to kill each other? Filled with hate to shoot and kill their own people. Huh? Because you're biased and you're not really about that life. If you was about Black Lives Matter for real, then you would be down in the ghettos talking to people that need to hear it the most. Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's why I told you it's a difference between keeping it real and keeping it 100. Keeping it 100% is, hey, we talking about Black Lives Matter, then we need to go down there and talk to these Black folk killing each other. Bottom line. And you see, the whole organization ain't never got around to doing that, have they? Hey, the whole organization ain't got around. I ain't heard nothing about them being in the hood. The real hoods. I'm talking about like Compton. I'm talking about like Brooklyn, Harlem, Uptown. As a whole, we ain't seen you out there. We ain't heard you out there. I'm pretty sure you got a couple members out there. I'm talking about you as a unit, as a whole. We have not seen you flood these ghettos where people are killing each other. We ain't heard about you down in Miami. Yeah, we ain't heard about you in Memphis. We ain't heard about you in Chicago. Definitely not Chicago. You too scared to go down there. And to be real, if people knew Black Lives Matter was down in Chicago or somewhere like that, anywhere in the Midwest, Detroit, they ain't gonna mess with you. You too scary to go down there. But you talking about Black Lives Matter. You signed up for the wrong thing, man. You signed up for the wrong thing. You signed up for the wrong thing. And they done played y'all too. They done played y'all. They had a catchy name and y'all fell for it. What are they actually doing? Okay, let's look at what they're actually doing. They're actually only talking about police-related deaths. That's all they're doing. For the most bulk of the situation. For the bulk of the situation, anytime some kind of protest happens, they there, right? How about showing up in the ghetto without a protest? How hard is that for you? Go out there to the ghetto when nothing's going on. Because what people start calling is the ambulance. Yeah, every time something happens, here you go. You showing up. And some people would feel like you're an opportunist. Hey, some people can read between the lines for real. It looks like you started to be an opportunist. In fact, some of the parents of deceased Black people are complaining about their children being people capitalizing off the Black Lives Matter capitalizing off the deaths of their children. Hey, I didn't say it; they said it. And people say, well, you shouldn't criticize something that's going on. Well, if you're using a name like Black Lives Matter, but you're not where Black lives are, which is the ghetto for the most part, then yeah, somebody's going to have something to say about that. Now, if you was down there in the hood, We got pictures of you down there in the hood, down there praying with people, fixing people plates and fixing food, talking to people. You know, there ain't no who have the heart to say something about it. But we don't see that. We don't see you cooking down in the hood, cookouts, grilling out in the hood, talking to people, just to talk to people, feed them, because people will listen to you once you feed them. They'll sit, would eat. That's how black people are. You get a plate and I'll listen to you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Sitting there eating the plate, listening to you. But you got to be there to do that. But you're not doing it. So see, what we have here is everybody just working. You know what that means? We still got a modern day plantation. Hey, they only concerned about you hitting that plantation. They ain't concerned about your children. 44 states married children, they ain't concerned about the children. But they concerned about adding more jobs, aren't they? Yeah, because they want to get you on that plantation. They ain't worried about nothing else. They ain't worried about educating your kids. They ain't worried about your rights. They ain't worried about none of that. All they worried about is you working. And see, and I'm be 100 with you. Mexicans, you're going to see that soon too. See, you think it's all good. See, that's how we used to be. We working, thinking it's all good. But they going to jerk you too. They going to jerk you. They going to jerk you. I promise you that. Because they good for doing that. It ain't good enough for you to work for these people because they're evil. They're evil when they pass the 44 states married children. They're evil when they just passed a law. Tomorrow will be 3 years. They just passed a law that allows them to have sex with any age of children. Okay? So by nature, that's not a hero. You can't say that's a hero, can you? You can't, can you? See, they're only concerned about you hitting that plantation. Long as you're working, that's all they care about. This country has been like that from the beginning. They was working slaves from the beginning. The only thing they have ever been concerned about is all of you working. Then that means the plantation never stopped. It never, ever stopped. That's all they concerned about is you working. Long as you working, they feel like you a law-abiding citizen. And it's that's all it is. That's all they concerned about. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I look. I could look. You forgive all the stuff that happened, but I feel like they reneged on it. I'm gonna let that resonate. You forgive all the stuff that happened. I feel like they reneged on it. They reneged on the forgiveness that you gave. They reneged on their own apologies by continuing to oppress the African Americans. Okay, if you say forgive us for slavery, but then you turn around and slap somebody and kill somebody and shoot somebody down, then what happens at that point? You begin to realize that this is still the enemy that you need to watch out for and hold accountable. This is still the person that's oppressing you and racist. And you so slow at sight and hearing that you don't see that it really never stopped. When did it stop? When did oppression of African Americans stop? Oh, because it's rich black people here now? They're joining the white club. They're working for Hollywood. They're working for white corporations. They joined the plantation. When have they let you stand on your own as a community? That's the true test. Why you always got to go to their neighborhood? You get rich, you got to go to a white neighborhood, which separates you from your family. And guess what? That does a psychological effect too. They don't really want to deal with you on the average, and you don't really want to deal with them on the average. So then it's like you leave the plantation or one plantation and you go to another one, just like they used to do back in the day, separating families. So now when you get rich, you go into another plantation. Boom. You go into another plantation and you think and it's a psychological effect of separating the families, and you don't even connect with them anymore. And some of you start thinking you better than the people back at the old plantation. You start thinking you better than the ghetto. Let that resonate. You done left the ghetto plantation and now you in the rich white plantation, because you still on the plantation to them. You in the house now. And what that's supposed to mean for us as a community? See, it's a psychological thing with that too. Oh, you see some black people on TV. We have arrived. We have not arrived. We have never arrived to being treated as white people. You are not ever going to probably be treated as white people in this country. No matter how much money you have, you can go in all these places and you will still smell racism. What does that tell you? The only way it's going to change is if this old system is torn down. How long you been waiting for it to change? I'm surprised nobody make a song about it. Instead of waiting on the world to change, waiting on America to change. Waiting on America to change. Waiting on the world to change. Hey, in some countries, they doing a lot better than America. They really, some things can be changed, but hey, you look, Russia ain't got no history of hating black people. Russia did not have black slaves. Did Russia have African slaves? Does Russia have a big system that has a track record for hating black people? Does Russia have a true history of brutality towards black people? But America do. Yeah, it might be good for you, white America, but for black people, Russia is better. Let's put it like this. Russia has a better track record towards how they treat black people. I'm gonna let that resonate. It's a hard job, but I gotta do it. Because you've been told this is the greatest country in the world. Greatest country for who? Let's break it down to ethnicities. Unfortunately, most of this is about race. Hey, don't deceive yourself. It is about race. You don't have to be racist, but half of this is about race. Here in America it is. Here in America it is. Because they wouldn't do other people like that. Yeah, the way they're oppressing you, they wouldn't do a white boy like that. The way they're oppressing you, they wouldn't do an Asian man like that. But they're doing it to you, though. It is about race. At the end of the day, this is all how they treat me. Is because they wouldn't do a white boy like that. If they seen nothing he was doing, they ain't see him doing no wrong. You think these white Mexicans and black people gonna be messing with him? A white boy? I don't think so. If it was an Asian man, and you seen that he did nothing wrong, you think they're gonna have all this going on? That's a race war. That's what it is. And I know better. It's a race war. Cut the foolishness. It's another race war. That's what it is. Because if it was any other race, it would have been over. So what does that tell you? It's about race. Hey, it's an educated observation. Because I know if it was an Asian man and you seen him do nothing wrong, then you wouldn't be doing nothing. You wouldn't be trying. Look how the black people listening to eavesdropping. Now, if I was an Asian man, you think they'll be doing that? I'm going to let that resonate. For all you people that think black people don't hate each other. Yeah, it's a wake-up call, ain't it? I told you, I'm blacker than all of y'all. If you sitting up oppressing another black person, you are working for white racist people. You have a racist white perspective that has been passed down to you from the white community. Oh, it might not look the same, but it is the same. By nature, you're oppressing an African American at the end of the day. Now, in my opinion, I just let him go. I just let you go. I'm not going to oppress you. You are working as the white man that is racist here in America. And if an Asian man was in this situation, all of y'all would have been left. So guess what that means? And I don't care if it's black people involved, whoever else, I don't care if Kunta Kinte is involved. It's a race war. It's a race war. That's what it is. And you can say whatever you want to say. But I just gave you examples. If it was an Indian man from the country India, and you seen he did no wrong, you looked at him long enough, you watched him long enough, you gawked long enough, and you seen he did nothing wrong, you walk away. How come you ain't done that? Because it's a race war. It's about race. You're projecting the hate that you have for black people on me. Let that resonate. You're projecting the hate that you already have for your own people, and for white people, for black people, and for Mexicans, for black people, that you already have in your heart, maybe because somebody stepped on your toes the wrong way. So now you're projecting all that hate on me. That's what you're doing. So it's a race war. I don't care what you say. If you, like I said, if you have seen that the person is doing no wrong and you don't walk away, you just initiated in a race war because it's based on that. I told you if it was a white boy, you would have walked away. Blonde hair, blue eyes, you would have walked away. Long time ago. Yeah, you're dealing with a smart man. Asian man, you would have walked away. Nah, he ain't doing nothing. He ain't doing nothing. Well, then how come you don't have that carefree, he ain't doing that mentality towards black people? Oh, he got to be doing something. Because you're really racist. Actually, it's actually you. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you succumb to the stereotypes that you see. I'm sorry you succumb to the black experience, the experiences you've had with black people to where you're projecting that on me. That's exactly what you're doing. You're projecting your bad experiences and the stereotypes that you have of black people on me. If you see me not doing something, then why you think I'm doing something? You're like the police. You're like the police. I don't care if you're Mexican. You're like the police when you look at me like I'm doing something and I'm not. Yeah, I have the right to walk freely if I'm doing nothing. I don't care about what you feel. I don't care about what you've been told. I still have the right to walk up and down anywhere and be anywhere if I have not done anything wrong. I don't care how you feel. We all feel certain ways about each other. I feel certain ways about you. You don't see me running after you, do you? Okay then. Yeah, you gotta know your limitations as a human being. Okay? I could easily go and say, well, they wronged me this way, so I feel this way. I could do that. I could do that to a handful of races, more than one, more than two. That's what the prophet goes through them all. The prophet has problems with them all. Because the real problem is you're evil and I'm good. That's the real war that's going on. Besides the race war, the real war is going on. The real war is you're not actually a good country. Hey, well, tell me why you got 44 states married children and all of a sudden you detect me as someone evil. You know why? Because really, you're evil and you call that good, and my good you call evil. Hey, well, I don't know any evil people out here telling you about 44 states marrying children. I don't know any evil people telling you about Donald Trump just passed a law July 1st, 2019, coming on 3 years, that allows adults to marry children at any age. I don't know any evil people doing that. Maybe you live in a galactic world, other world, where evil people do that. They do good and bring evil to justice, but still evil. But in this world, in this earth, in this realm, dimension, if you will, there's not anyone doing that. Evil people, you know what they do? They sit back and let it all happen. That's what you're doing. So, see that? That's the punchline. You're sitting back letting it happen. Guess you're evil, huh? Well, if you were good, then why you ain't saying nothing? That part. If you were so good, why you ain't talking about what I'm talking about? Why you ain't talking about 44 states marrying children? If you so good, you're not so good. And it's a news flash. I'm busting your bubble. You're not as good as you think you are. Okay? That goes for the military. That goes for police. Police, you should have quit your job a long time ago. As soon as you found out 44 states marry children, I would have quit. I don't care what happened. I done been homeless before. Hey, you gotta be tough. You gotta be willing to leave your home to stand for something, to stand for righteousness. You gotta be willing to leave this lifestyle that you live in. See, that's how they get you. You can't leave the lifestyle. You can't leave the money to follow righteousness. That's why the Bible says it's harder for a camel. It's easier for a camel to go into the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter into heaven. You know why? Because he don't want to leave the lifestyle of evil to follow righteousness. I know. That's for the police. Yeah, it shouldn't be no police. The law should have been ended. There should have been anarchy. All you police should have said, how can I go out here and serve 44 with this country with 44 states marrying children and Donald Trump working against us, passing a law July 1st, 2019 that allows adults to marry children at any age? How can I, in my right conscience and mind, go out here and bring a pedophile and arrest him or her, but have no problem with 44 states marrying children? Have no problem with the fact that Donald Trump passed a law that allows adults to marry children at any age? How in my right conscience can I oppress someone who is a pedophile, but not fight against the power that actually puts children in marriage? You should be angry. You should be angry. And angry to action. When you sit up and watch them put R. Kelly in jail for 30 years, but they got 44 states married children, boom. You still got 44 states married children. So justice is not really served for children. Not as far as I'm concerned. 44 states married children, buddy, you can lock up whoever you want to lock up. You could turn Roe versus Wade, you can overturn that. And yeah, I want to say this again. I said in the other video, overturning Roe versus Wade does not mean you still don't have children in harm's way. You still have children in harm's way with 44 states marrying children. You still have children in harm's way when Donald Trump just passed a law that allows adults to marry children at any age. You have not won the fight getting children out of harm's way. You have not won the fight as far as your integrity and character towards children. You have not won the fight. Okay, so you did something with abortion. You still got 44 states marrying children? That part. You think you've done something. Hey, you still got that going. It's not one for the other. Who told you that? Man, who intelligence are you insulting? Who intelligence are you insulting here? Okay? Roe versus Wade has nothing to do with 44 states marrying children. Roe versus Wade has nothing to do with the age of consent being under 18 in 40 states. Roe versus Wade has nothing to do, or the overturning of it has nothing to do with Donald Trump passing a law that allows adults to marry children at any age in 20 states. That's a whole different situation, and they're actually whole different laws. They're whole entirely different laws. They're different entities. Okay? And unfortunately, Roe versus Wade is not getting the job done. Overturning that is not getting the job done. Unfortunately, you're still in the same shape as far as your character goes, as far as children. You can fly 1,000,000 pounds of formula. Yeah, that's another thing. Oh, you flying formula? Oh, we care about the kids? You still, while you flying that formula in, you still got 44 states marrying children, buddy. While you worried about formula, you still got Donald Trump's law that he passed with the age of with the children being married at any age in 20 states. You still got that going while you're flying formula in. While you flying all that formula in, patting yourself on the back, the age of consent is under 18 in 40 states still. See, you can't play me. And if you can't play me, you know you can't play God. You can't deceive God or me. All that little stuff you're doing is still not getting to the crust of the matter that you are actually, by law and by definition of the laws, a pedophile nation. Hey, let's go back to the definition of pedophiles. The definition of a pedophile is an adult first, not children having sex with children. Those are not pedophiles. That's not a pedophile. Those are children experimenting. They will do that. There's nothing we can do about it. They'll do it if you put a 20-foot gate in front of your house. Some way, they're still going to experiment with other children. Even in their